Sadistic Penguin Studios presents It's Getting Drafty in Here.
Drafty old porno.
The show of drafting random nonsense.
I choose business ethics.
And now, coming to you from his basement, a.k.a. Draft Headquarters, your host and draft master, Magnificent Stan.
Hello, welcome to episode 56 of It's Getting Drafty in Here. I am your host, Magnificent Stan. Today is Tuesday, October 8th, 2024. And today's topic, and I swear to God, I did not coordinate this with an impending doom hurricane coming to Florida. Tonight we're doing disaster movies. What defines a disaster movie? Let me pull that up really quick because we were discussing it before we started working on the episode. I thought, the Google machines would just guide us. So I looked up disaster movie on Google. They came up with like a perfect definition. It said a disaster movie is a film that focuses on an ongoing or impending disaster as the primary plot device. Disaster movies can feature a variety of disasters, including natural disasters like earthquakes and fires, accidents, military or terrorist attacks, and global catastrophes like pandemics. So I thought that was a good... It broadened us in terms of what we could do in terms of spanning out more movies and whatnot. So joining me, we got a couple Penguins on tonight. I figure we're going to talk movies. Got to have a couple movie dorks on. So first of all, we got our host of Collector's Corner on the Sadistic Penguin Studios, our guy, Aloha Mr. Hand. What's going on, Pete?
Not much. Same old. Just living the dream and working and jerking. That's about it.
We were both in Milwaukee at the Hawks game, and I don't think either of us knew that the other one was at the game over the weekend. But
I did run into separately Dougie and Joey P in the parking garage.
Oh, there you go. Okay. That's funny. Yeah, we all sat. The three of us sat together. So
yeah.
That stadium is really nice.
Yes, it is. But it's definitely for basketball. The Fiserv Forum.
I mean, if Milwaukee brought an NHL team in, I think it would go over pretty well, especially in that little area there. It's really nice.
Yes.
Also joining us, Sadistic Penguin Studios, Everyman guy's got two shows. We got Hook Up on Music, and at the show we got our guy Tony. What's going on, buddy?
I want to work and jerk it like Mr. Hand. That's where I'm trying to get to. I figure if I could get a couple of shows going, and I'm end up working and jerking it eventually. So glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Right on. Well, let's just dig right in, man. Pete, you won the lottery this week.
Mm-hmm.
What you got for first overall?
So I was torn between two movies. One is a personal favorite, and the other is with the expanded definition of disaster. I have to go with Titanic. I mean, come on. It's a natural.
It's the ultimate disaster.
That's right. It's the ultimate disaster. It really is. Now, if it would have been disaster movies in the scope we originally talked about, I don't think it qualifies. But with this expanded scope, being that this is a historic event that actually happened, I have to go with Titanic. And Rose is still a bitch sitting there saying, that the only
reason you're doing this is so you could razz on fucking Rose a little more.
Yeah, Rose is sitting there going, "Oh, Jack, I'll never let go." Then she lets him go to become fish food. And there was enough goddamn room on that door.
You make it really an interesting point because I think she should have just stayed with Billy Zane. Like that guy really had character. I mean, he had character in that movie. Real character. Would not let her left.
Yes, exactly.
I was dicking around on Instagram the other night, and there was on a reel there was a deleted scene from Titanic.
Is it the alternate ending scene?
Yeah, where Bill was it Bill Paxton, right?
Yes.
Where Bill Paxton finds her trying to throw it in the ocean.
Yes.
And then he lets her? What the fuck?
Well, and also, I want to talk about that. This is how much of a scumbag Rose is. Now, at the end of the movie, I agree, Jack. Boob scene, classic. Yes. But at the end of the movie, old Rose is like hanging over the ship with the heart of the ocean in her fucking hand. In her hand. Knowing that it's worth more than the Hope Diamond because they said so earlier in the movie. She could have set up her granddaughter who fucking took care of her.
She could have. She really could have.
What a scumbag.
What a bitch. I rest my case.
As Billy says in the movie, you could be passé about a lot of things, Rose, but not about Titanic. You know, that he says that in the movie.
Exactly.
Again, definitely make interesting points.
That's all I got.
If we're talking about disasters, Titanic was, that's like the disaster of disasters.
Yes.
So, there you go. Yeah. Good one.
Excellent pick.
Underrated. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people give this movie a lot of shit. I feel like it was better than people expected. It's not like a great film, obviously, by any stretch, but it was. It's James Cameron. He's not going to let it be shit.
This is like when I'm seeing this movie, this is my peak Casino, Pulp Fiction, and when I saw it, I wasn't like, this sucks. I was like, you know what? For what it is, it does the job. Besides the ending, as you stated, Mr. Hand.
I saw Bill Hader on a podcast recently, and he was talking about when he used to work when he was trying to just get through in the business. He was working at a movie theater as just an usher, like a ticket guy, and like this group of sorority girls were being really rude to him, and he just decided to fuck with them. And as he's taking their tickets, he's like, DiCaprio dies, shit stinks. Like and he ended up getting fired because he did it. But
my kind of guy.
Hey, Bill Hader wins. All right, Tony, number 2, bud.
All right, I'm going to go with one of my top favorite comedies of all time. I'm going to go with 1980s comedy called Airplane.
Yep.
Which is a spoof of, other disaster movies like Airport and those
Airport
70s.
75, Airport 77.
There are like 19 of them, yeah. And then wasn't Leslie Nielsen in?
No. No.
Okay, I'm
George
sorry.
He did other things, but this was his introduction to being,
it's a comedy,
the comedy genius that I loved him for.
Is there a more quotable movie than Airplane? Especially for people our age, like in their like from the early to mid 40s to like 50s. That's one of the most quotable movies ever.
Yes, Naked Gun, I would say, and also as a baseball fan, Major League.
Oh yeah, definitely. But to the movie, you have just an all-star cast. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar does a great job in this movie. To me, as a kid watching it, I knew him in this movie before I knew him as the basketball player, which is funny because the whole time my dad's telling me he's a basketball player, and it's just really great performances. And I'm a really big fan of this kind of humor. And they don't do it as much anymore. And now they're making this movie that's coming out. The remake's coming out next August, which is going to be, it's going to be interesting.
Tell your old man to drag Walton and Lanier up the court for 48 minutes. Seriously, that is in my house growing up. I don't think there's another movie that's as quotable as that one. Don't give me that red zone shit again. And I'm one of the few people that actually thinks the second one's as good as the first one.
Okay. Well, that's actually a hugely interesting take.
Yes.
Yeah. Great movie. All right. Wow. You guys set me up here. I had a 1 and 2, and I didn't think either of them were going to get picked.
I have a feeling I know what they are.
Yeah, I mean, I have other movies I'd love to discuss.
Yeah.
I'm not the kind of guy that like I need to win my draft, but
do you ever?
Am I in Indiana? I won last week. I won last week. Even though Missy was stumping like crazy for Johnny, I still won. So yeah, 1-1. I gotta go Titanic. Not Titanic, Twister. So Twister,
not what I was thinking.
I mean, that's a disaster movie.
Yes.
I just saw the sequel. It was very good. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. A lot better than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be complete trash. So
I totally agree with you. I really liked it.
The technology has actually, really done well for itself. But yeah, I mean, it's the movie. I mean, I'll speak for me and Tony here. This is one of those movies we grew up on. It's on it's on TBS every 10 minutes, So, yeah.
I may be for me, I really in the music department love the Van Halen track "Humans Being" off of the soundtrack. I think it was. Yeah. I mean, it was the last thing they did with Sammy, pretty much, and it's the guitar side. The song's really awesome, and the movie, as you stated, I mean, you got Alan Ruck from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, you got Philip Seymour Hoffman in some of these roles that before they are who. Well, we know them more to be. I love those type of roles. Jamie Gertz.
I was just going to say the owner of the Atlanta Hawks is in the movie, Jamie Gertz.
Lost
and
Boys.
also and the Princess Bride Cara was from the Princess Bride playing a bad guy.
Yes.
If I want your opinion, I'll give it to you. Yeah, he's a total jack off in that movie. All right. And then here's the second one. I'm gonna go Day After Tomorrow.
Oh, that's a good one.
Now that's one I saw it at the theater, and I've never been like it's one of those movies I'm like I don't think it's a great movie or anything like that, but every time it's on, I'll watch it. I thought there were problems with the script on that one, like the dynamic between teenage Jake Gyllenhaal and his dad was kind of weird. Like he's like obsessed with his dad, and it's like, bro, you're like 17. Like, no. but yeah, I thought it was for what it was. It was very, very, very well done. The science part of it was actually pretty decent. Like it's one of those things that make it a little believable. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen now, but maybe our grandkids will have some problems with the weather. I know we're about to have some problems with the weather, and I'm not going to get political or any of that shit, but I mean, it's going to get bad. So
Sharknadoes.
There you go. And that's on my list for tonight as well.
Yeah. And the funniest thing, I was supposed to be in Fort Lauderdale on Thursday.
Ooh.
Yeah. Let's just say that all my plans have been changed as of today.
Yeah.
When on Sunday you start getting emails from the airline. Oh,
are you sure you want to go?
No, it wasn't worded like that. It was more, there may be disruptions to your travel plans. I'm like, okay, you're telling me that you're going to cancel my flight. That's basically what you're telling me is coming.
It's awful. It's awful nice of them. They're not going to Reinsdorf you.
Well, you never know. Midway might want to.
Shit. You ever take Spirit? No, I'm kidding.
No.
Dear God, no. All right, Tony, what do you got?
All right. I'm going to do another movie, blockbuster, huge blockbuster, because the other movies that I'm going to pick, I know you guys probably won't pick. So I'm going to go with one more blockbuster in Armageddon.
I figured that was going at some point.
The poster for our
very embarrassingly, I will always remember. I don't know why. Doesn't happen very often, but for some reason, when I first saw this movie, I teared up during the Aerosmith song, which is really embarrassing when you look back and you think and you think about it, because the song really isn't any good, and doing animal crackers on stomach, it was just a bit ridiculous.
Oh God, that fucking scene is the end of cinema. When Brandy and I watch that movie, I always make fun of that fucking scene. Like when you watch that, you're like Ben Affleck, what are you doing with your fucking life? Like
wait. I just realized something when you said that.
Yeah.
That's where John Schriffen got the growl from. He got it from Armageddon.
I was expecting someone to do the growl when Pete Alonso hit another homer today, you know? Brandy with the dynamite drop in, animal cracker foreplay. That's the name of my metal band.
There you go. Didn't they open for Metallica at one point?
Yes, they did.
Yes.
But I remember when this movie came out, they also came out with around the same time, which I don't know if you guys will be picking, but it was called Deep Impact. This one was a little bit better in my opinion than Deep Impact, but this one had a good cast. I mean, you put Ben Affleck aside, and of course you got Bruce. You know, I really liked Peter Stormare. He does a good job as like the Russian who like gets like off cast in the movie. It's just a Billy Bob Thornton does a great job.
Steve Buscemi is the horn dog.
Great job. But again, like as far as like this was a big time for summer blockbuster disaster flicks. This one is a huge one. Was asteroid coming towards the Earth?
Yep.
Bruce is gonna save us.
How could he not?
Was there a doomsday kind of storyline in Space Cowboys?
Not a doomsday, but it was the nukes were in a satellite that was.
That's what it was. Okay.
That was like going to be re-entering orbit.
It was failing. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that movie always kind of screamed a little like Armageddon a little bit.
Right.
I hope you guys weren't going to pick that one, or if you are, go ahead. But I actually like that. I actually like that movie more than Armageddon.
Yes,
that's a good movie. That's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
Yes, it is.
Tommy Lee Jones is phenomenal.
I'll just say this: at the end of Space Cowboys, I cannot. After seeing that movie, I cannot hear "Fly Me to the Moon" by Sinatra without thinking of Tommy Lee Jones sitting on the moon, just looking at the flag.
Now, our buddy Mailman Jack has asked if Mad Max is technically a disaster movie. I would say it's after the disaster, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we lost Tony for a minute here.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, you got 2 picks here, Pete. Why don't we keep moving?
Okay. So I am going to go retro on this one. And I'm picking the movie the other one I was thinking about first. And it is like the old school Irwin Allen disaster movie, The Towering Inferno.
Oh, great pick.
This movie came out in 1970. Yes, Steve McQueen's the fucking man.
He is the man.
This movie came out in 1974, was nominated for Best Picture, and Fred Astaire, Dancing Fred Astaire, actually got an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor for this movie, but lost out to Robert De Niro in Godfather Part 2. It's a good person.
That's a good one to lose out to, though. So.
Yes, exactly. There's no shame in losing out on that one.
No.
But if you look at the effects of this movie, they're not CGI. He was actually setting shit on fire and filming it. So almost all the fire scenes you see with people in it is an actual fucking fire that they were setting, and before they
created any type of safe environment for their employees.
Exactly.
Screams of Buddy Ebsen dying from silver poisoning or whatever the fuck.
Right. Oh yeah, from the Tin Man costume. Yes. Yeah. But no, this is like what. This is like the early genesis of disaster movies, in my opinion, because Irwin Allen just sort of like really, Jack, I'll get to that next. that your comment is my next pick. Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So that's like where it sort of peaked, because that year you had another disaster movie come out, which I'm not going to say because it might be a future pick. And, I'll just say that one came all too true in 1989 in San Francisco. I'll just leave it at that. But this is like when they actually put effort into it, when it wasn't all CGI and everything else. And, you had two alpha male actors in McQueen and Paul Newman going head to head with each other, and an amazing supporting cast. William Holden, the juice was on the loose. Actually, had O.J. Simpson was in it, and he was saving people, not killing them. So,
OJ, the guy from the Terminator.
Yeah, back that OJ.
I've dug into that story a little bit with the Terminator, and they didn't hire him because they didn't think he was believable as a killer. That's my favorite part.
Dude.
Yes, exactly. But I mean, it's just the cast goes on and on of like 70s superstars in this movie. And again, it is definitely a movie you have to see on the big screen. The building, it takes place in a high rise in San Francisco. I've actually visited the building that is used for the exterior of it. It's right next to Chinatown in San Francisco. Parts of Dirty Harry were also filmed there. The original Dirty Harry movie were also filmed there too. So, yeah. So it's, to me, it's my favorite disaster movie. And I think part of it is just the situation, the macho-ness of the two leading men just like going, bouncing off of each other. So I'm all for it. My next pick, going back to Jack's last statement.
I'll just start typing it because I already know what it is.
Yeah, is the Poseidon Adventure. And yes, Ernest Borgnine and Shelley Winters in this movie are just incredible. Ernest Borgnine just screaming and hollering and yelling throughout the entire movie. Sounds like an angry Sox fan.
That's all Ernest Borgnine knows what to do.
I know, exactly. Except in the movie Marty. Where he plays a gentle soul.
That's a great movie.
He does, isn't it?
Yes,
great. That's one of the best. I feel like that's one of the best roles ever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And people, it's Marty is the best picture in 1955. Won Best Picture. He won Best Actor. If you've never seen it, it's like 90 minutes long.
Phenomenal.
It's well worth it. It's a
phenomenal I've never seen the Poseidon Adventure, but I've seen Marty.
But and also don't forget Ernest Borgnine, the actor who kills Frank Sinatra in From Here to Eternity.
Ooh, yes.
Because he was the prison guard.
That's true.
Yes. So the Poseidon Adventure, obviously they're on the SS Poseidon on her final voyage. Basically, it's going to the scrapyard, and it's New Year's Eve, and they get broadsided by a tidal wave, and the ship is turned upside down. And
what's with you and picking ship movies, man?
And people actually
perfect storms coming, huh, puppy?
Hey, I can neither confirm nor deny, but the ship is turned upside down, and there's actual idiots who think, let's just stay here because help will come. No, you got to go up to what is the top of the ship, which is the actual bottom of the ship, in the hopes that they get to you because you're gonna fucking flood.
No, Peter, it doesn't sound like an adventure.
No, but the highlight of this movie is Shelley Winters swimming.
Yes, that's a great.
It's a scene that has to be seen to be believed. And Ernest Borgnine saves the day. And by the way, another actor in the Poseidon Adventure, another screamy guy, Gene Hackman, screaming throughout the entire movie. Fresh off of his Oscar-winning role in The French Connection too.
Oh, it's a great movie. Now all I'm thinking about is Ernest Borgnine in Escape from New York. Don't go down there, Snake. You don't want to go down there.
Yes, he is.
See, now all I can think of is Ernest Borgnine on The Simpsons.
There we go.
Okay, I'm gonna really go deep and geek on this one. Do you remember a TV show called The Single Guy? It was
Yeah.
on for one season on NBC after Friends.
Yes.
I want to say in 95.
Yep.
Ernest Borgnine played a supporting actor in it. He was like a doorman or something like that. Yes.
That's awesome.
And in one episode, the main character, Jonathan Silverman, was an author. And he's trying to impress this girl, and he's telling this girl, "Oh yeah, I'll set you up, I can get you to meet J.D. Salinger." Notorious reclusive writer. Never did interviews, not a lot of people knew what he looked like. So this guy tries to pass off Ernest Borgnine as J.D. Salinger. It's priceless.
There's a lot of people. I'm looking it up right now. There's actually quite the guest list on this show. But yeah. Awesome.
Last thing I remember Ernest Borgnine in was Basketball.
He's good in that too.
Yes.
When he sings "I'm Too Sexy." How the fuck did they get how did they get an Academy Award-winning actor to be in fucking Basketball?
It's called a paycheck.
Right.
Yeah. It's true. Very true.
Yeah.
All right, Tony.
All right. Where am I gonna go? What am I gonna pick? All right. One of my favorite movies. Again, it's a 90s movie. There's different incarnations of this movie since then with Contagion.
Uh-oh, we lost him again.
Play me off, Johnny.
I think I know where he's going. Because he was mentioning
Contagion, but he wasn't.
That's not his pick.
Brandy's brother worked on Contagion.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. The one thing I remember him telling me when he worked on that, he goes, "Kate Winslet's really short."
Oh, fucking all of them are short, with the exception of Tim Robbins. He's like 6'3" or something like that. The rest of them are. What is Tom?
Everybody's on fucking Apple boxes the whole time.
Yes. What is Tom Cruise? 5'4", 5'5"?
If that.
Yeah. Al Pacino's like 5'2".
Jesus. Oh boy, we're missing our Tony.
Yeah, missing his pick. I have a feeling I think I know what it is based on the Contagion reference.
Then you mentioned the 90s?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I know what he's picking too. That's on my list.
Yes.
We'll have to wait until he comes to pick it, but that's a good one.
Yeah, young. Pacino is 3 feet tall. Uh-oh.
No, that means he dropped out. He's gonna pop back in, so that should be fine in a minute here.
Yeah. But I had to take Titanic #1 just so I could give my Rose dissertation.
You're right,
Tom? Don't get me wrong. Is he there? I don't see. I see him there, but I don't see him.
All righty then.
Yeah.
There we go.
He's back.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Outbreak.
Yep.
It's what we figured.
We figured it out, but if
I go away, it's Outbreak. I don't know what's going on.
That's a good movie.
Outbreak is my pick. Loved watching this movie in the 90s. Loved Contagion a lot too. World War Z. It's kind of freaky. I like the performances in this movie are great. Morgan Freeman, Donald Sutherland, Dustin Hoffman. But I really like this movie a lot.
I forgot Donald Sutherland's in it. He's such a fucking scumbag. It's
big sleaze.
And Cuba Gooding Jr.'s in it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. You picked the best monkey movie, I think.
Wasn't that the monkey from Friends too?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. One thing I mentioned that you probably missed was that I mentioned that Brandy's brother was worked on Contagion.
Really?
Yes, he was in the art department.
And no, say the other part again that you said.
Oh, the one thing he took from that movie was that Kate Winslet's really, really short.
Oh. See, he could have fit on the fucking door. See? Just further proof he could have fit on the door.
What a bitch.
No,
You know, the little girl in Outbreak was really good too.
Yeah.
The little girl they used to like bait the monkey.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Remember that part? It's funny. All right. I'm gonna go. I wanted to pick something recent. So I'm gonna go. This was a movie that was done on Netflix a few years ago. With DiCaprio. And it's called Don't Look Up. Have you seen that one, Pete?
I have not seen it.
You
Did we lose
should.
Tony again?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about
Is that the one with Jennifer Lawrence too?
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence is
Okay.
in it. Him and DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence are scientists, and they see that they figure out that there's an asteroid heading towards the world, and
We got you, Tony.
You're back, Tony. You're good.
All right.
And nobody believes them that it's going to hit the Earth and basically destroy the Earth. And Meryl Streep is the president, and her chief of staff is Jonah Hill, and it's a really good combination of really fucking scary, really funny, and then like socially kind of it moves you a little bit because it shows you like what happened to this world where like nobody can take it seriously and then everybody's dead. So,
Yeah.
It's one of those things. So it's very well done. I really enjoyed it. Tony, you've seen that, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I did see
Okay.
it. It was a good movie. It was a good movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and like I said, I wanted to pick something recent as part of my picks. So the real disasters, Tony's internet.
Man.
It's okay. It happens. It happens to all of us.
Yes.
And then my last.
Oh yeah, you know you know what? That makes me feel better the way you just said it like that. You know, it's to all of us.
It's all of us. Yeah.
It does. It does.
Of course.
And my final pick, I wanted to do something silly, something goofy, something ridiculous. So I am gonna go with the 1986 Stephen King written movie Maximum Overdrive, which is about aliens controlling.
What? Is that?
I mean, basically, the movie's just a fucking vehicle for an AC/DC album. That's all it is,
Right.
really.
But is that because the movie's about a disaster or it is a disaster?
Probably a little bit of both. That's a good point. So who's in it? Emilio Estevez.
Emilio Estevez, yes.
The woman that voices Lisa Simpson is in it. That's about it. I mean, everybody else is pretty unknown in that movie. But yeah, the cars, everything take over the planet, basically.
It's like the Transformers before the Transformers.
Right. And they're like holed up in like an old like truck stop trying to get out. But the trucks won't let them. If they leave, the trucks are gonna run them over. It's bad. It's bad, but it's great. I love you, Brian. I really disliked that movie. Thank you, Jack. And yes, it was Stephen King directed that as well. So that was his one, and then they wouldn't let him do it again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want Maximum Overdrive because I think it's too stupid and silly. We can't do a disaster movie without talking about at least one disaster, right?
Yeah.
It's true.
But all right, Tony, what do you got?
All right, I'm going to go with a newer movie here that I enjoyed. It was Everest. It takes place on, Mount Everest. It was really, really good. And a lot of different actors are in this movie. Like Jake Gyllenhaal's in the movie. Josh Brolin's in the movie. A lot more people than that. But the point of the movie is the way it's shot made me feel that I was stuck on Mount Everest, which made it pretty scary, which is a disaster to be up there. A lot of people have lost their life trying to climb Mount Everest, which I don't know why people do it, but they love to do it.
Okay. Yeah, I have never seen that. I've wanted to, I just never got to it.
It's on HBO Max if you happen to have the opportunity.
Oh no. All right, well, he said it was on it's on Max. So if you want to watch Everest, you can check it out on Max.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Pete. Let's go with
All
your
right.
last one, pal.
So I had a couple different ones floating around, but the one I'm going to go with is it's based off of a great book, but this became scary because of events that happened about 9 months before the movie came out, 8 months maybe, and that's The Sum of All Fears.
That's a great one.
Because and like I said, the book is phenomenal, but the movie, the impact,
the movie was really good.
The movie is fantastic.
Yeah,
Ben Affleck actually playing a great Jack Ryan in it. I hoped he would do more, but he never did. But what happens in the movie, I don't think has as big of an impact as it did, to me at least, if 9/11 doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Because after 9/11,
there were a lot of movies like that.
Right.
Yeah.
After 9/11 happened, you're going, wait, this isn't that far-fetched.
Right.
It really isn't. But, and I will say I absolutely love the ending of this movie. I love the ending of Sum of All Fears when Affleck and Bridget Moynihan, who is his girlfriend / fiance, and the old Russian spy comes up and just basically blows their cover on everything. He's like, here's a gift on your engagement. He just asked me this morning, how did you know?
Oh, they know. But yeah, the cast is phenomenal in that one.
Yes,
Liev Schreiber is really good in it too.
Yes, Morgan Freeman is the Secretary of Defense.
James Cromwell is the president.
And I know, what I had hoped, because you had Liev Schreiber playing Mr. Clark, and then you had Willem Dafoe play Mr. Clark in Clear and Present Danger.
Yeah.
There was a book about Mr. Clark called Without Remorse, which they made into an Amazon Prime movie, which sucked. I was hoping that they take one of those two guys. Actually, I was hoping they take Liev Schreiber and put him as Mr. Clark and make Without Remorse with him as Mr. Clark. But
didn't they essentially do that with? I mean, it's not the same type. It's the same type of show though. He had a spy show, didn't he?
Or are you thinking?
What was that? What was that? He had a series for a long time. Ray Donovan, wasn't that like?
That's no. Yeah.
I've never seen it. I always kind of thought it was
he's more Ray Donovan's more like I've seen a couple episodes. To me, it struck me more he was like the wolf from Pulp Fiction, a cleaner.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm thinking of
yeah.
Chuck. No, I'm not thinking of Chuck. Thanks,
Peter. That's a great one, but nobody picked Morbius.
Hey, Morbius is the second worst comic book movie, according to CinemaScore now. So
yes,
Joker 2 is the worst.
For all of you, I will say this: within the last 2.5 weeks, I have seen 2 disastrous movies. The Joker, Filet au Deux, or whatever the fuck it's called. What was the point? And both you guys, I'm sure, remember the message I sent you because I got to see a sneak preview of it. The message I sent the day after was, "What was the point of this movie? What was the point?"
From what I read, it was initially the whole idea was that it was going to be a Broadway musical.
Yeah.
And then the studio's like, no, we can't do this. And then Joaquin Phoenix just basically run with it. Because the whole thing was like his baby.
Yes.
So.
And the thing is, honestly, I could see this movie, Joker, that's Joker 2, being a troll job movie. I wouldn't put it past Joaquin Phoenix just to do it as a troll job.
Just to fuck with people. I agree. And he's the exact type of person to do that.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
100%.
Because when I left the theater, I'm like,
and I'm okay with that, actually. Like,
yeah.
if the whole idea is like, hey, I'm fucking with you, like,
yeah,
I'm good with that.
Right, exactly. And then the other disaster flick was Megalopolis. Oh my God, Francis Ford Coppola. What the fuck were you thinking?
From what I understand, he was asleep most of the time when they were making it. So
yeah, probably sampling his own wine. But yeah, so and one of the questions I'll tell everybody this that I asked before we went live: does Showgirls count as a disaster movie? I say yes.
What did I do? What did I do?
Yeah, she's got the moves.
Yep. So before we go to dump lists, I had a little bit of an advertisement I wanted to play for something that we're offering. So hang on 1 minute here.
All right.
Buy the shirt. So yeah, we got shirts and hoodies of that design. So if anybody wants to grab anything, let me know. I'll make it worth your while,
That's got that music's got a good beat. You can dance to it.
I saw you dancing while it was playing.
Yes, absolutely.
Jer, you didn't get the Chicago Sports Channel? Like
you didn't get your antenna yet?
I can't even do an antenna living in St. Charles. It's from what I was told by an antenna company that it's too low to catch a reading unless I get like one of those whole house antennas. So I'm fucked.
Oh, because of the distance.
It's too well. No, the ground is too low for it to transmit properly.
Oh,
from what they told me. I don't know. So I guess I'm not a Sox, Bulls, or Blackhawks fan anymore because I can't watch their games.
Yeah,
I'll be happier. It's okay.
Probably.
So before we go into our dump lists here, I have 3 lists that were provided for me. First is my wife, Brandy. So we're gonna go with this one. She got Deep Blue Sea.
Mm-hmm.
So Twister, Day After Tomorrow. She's got some good picks here. I wanted to pick Independence Day. I thought that was a good one, and probably if we did another round, I would have. So
yeah.
And then Sharknado is perfect. So. And then we have a list from our guy Jack, Mailman Jack. Yeah, he's old. Poseidon Adventure, Towering Inferno, Miracle Mile, which I've never seen, but I've always wanted.
I've never seen it. Yeah.
The Birds, and then
that's
Airport.
A good call. Yeah. And Jack, by the way, I'm going to age myself, and I know you will understand this reference. I saw Poseidon Adventure and Towering Inferno at Ford City.
Holy shit.
And Sam Reeves is saying you better show his list.
Oh, that's coming.
Okay.
All right, so here's Sam's list. He's got Barbie, which I guess you could consider a disaster movie. Oppenheimer, Legend of Bagger Vance. What did he destroy? Did he destroy golf? Is that why you're Hot Rod? I don't even know what Johnny English is, honestly.
That's what's his name? Mr. Bean.
Oh shit! Okay,
Mr. Bean's in that.
Oh god, Mission Impossible 2, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and the Brady Bunch reunion. Are we talking about which Brady Bunch reunion are we talking about? Are we talking about the one from the 90s where Bobby gets in a car crash and is paralyzed?
And wasn't there some sibling love going on then too?
I don't know. They're not really siblings.
Yes, that's true, but guess
it's
Greg and Marsha. Yeah, Greg and Marsha were getting it on. And I will say I do. I have to agree with
Greg was
Sam.
getting out with the mom.
Well, I think you got both. I do have one thing to say about Sam's list.
Let me prop it up again.
Okay, now I'm not gonna argue with him about any, except I'm going to absolutely agree with him on the Barbie movie. And just because there's not enough skin from her in that movie. Needed to see more skin.
Boy. Oh boy. I watched it with Brandy not that long ago, and I'll tell you, I liked it more than I thought I would. So I thought it was interesting social
Yes.
commentary.
But I did think what's his name is Ken was fucking perfect.
Mm-hmm.
He was absolutely perfect. And kudos to Sam for taking that I'm Just Ken video and making it into I'm Just Sam in the 108 tourney. Bravo.
That is my favorite video of all the 108 tournament videos. Even more than me putting on makeup and doing the dude from Ghost.
Hey, it's a tough one between that video by Sam and Peter's Goodfellas video.
That one was freaking amazing too.
It's a tough call between those two.
Baloney's the best.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna move Tony out, and then maybe he'll get back in.
He's trying.
If he can, he will. That was me. That was actually me. I pulled him out.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's go. Let's go over just what did we miss? What did we miss, Pete?
Well, obviously Independence Day. I think that was one we saw on the list. We didn't take that. War of the Worlds is another one.
Here?
You're here.
Yes, you are.
Was I gone that whole 10 minutes?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So, it's showing I'm here and it's showing all the people we have watching, but I guess I'm back now. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Yay!
Yes. I'm back for the end. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, we're good. We're going over dump lists right now.
I was there. I listened to everything. It was great dump
Oh,
lists.
okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Barbie. Amazing. I was talking over here and I'm like, I don't think you're hearing me, but
I don't think they can hear me.
Yeah. War of the Worlds is another one. Both versions, the 50s and the Steven Spielberg, Tom Cruise. Was it 05? I think it came out.
The 50s one scared the shit out of people. That was the best.
Yes. I'm trying to think.
You're here, Tony. You're good.
Yeah, you're good.
He said hello to me. I was waving to him.
Oh.
Hey, it's Tony.
Hey, it's Tony.
The 2024 White Sox season.
The one I found a few lists, and the one that was very constant at towards the top was the movie 2012.
Yes.
Good one.
Yeah.
Is that the one with John Cusack?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that was good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's like a perfect disaster movie. Actually, that's like if you had a formula for a disaster movie, probably the most it just didn't resonate as well with me at least.
Right.
San Andreas was a good one.
Earthquake, which is along the San Andreas line as well. Earthquake from the 70s.
We already talked about Contagion.
Yep.
Would Backdraft count?
Yeah. I mean, Towering Inferno counts. Backdraft would count, right?
Yeah. And Donald Sutherland playing another scumbag in that movie.
It's true. I love Donald Sutherland as a scumbag. He did a good job.
Yeah.
Let me see. World War Z. You mentioned that earlier, Pete.
World War Z.
That's a good one. I didn't make a list this week, really. I had a list in my head.
Yeah.
And then, oh, shit. Why didn't we got to talk about Volcano?
and Dante's Peak. That's right. Similar to.
Let's talk about the shitty one. We got to go Volcano.
Come on. It's a warm day. People are having fun. It's a warm day. Water temperatures don't rise 5 degrees in 5 hours.
I try to watch it. Yeah.
It's terrible. Anne Heche is so bad in the movie.
Yes.
Bad in everything.
We almost got thrown out of the movie theater. The scene where he's in the back of it's the lava's coming and he needs to try to jump over the lava, but he
just jumps in.
He doesn't really jump at all. I remember.
Didn't we talk about that recently? You and me and Yumper? Yeah. Okay. It's the guy from the Drew Carey show, the guy that plays Drew Carey's brother.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah.
He's holding someone in his arms, and he jumps into the lava. And as he's burning down, he throws the guy. It's like, yeah, you're gonna just basically go straight into that shit. Like you're not gonna
slowly dissolve in it. You're just going straight in.
It's a lava bomb.
You ever see A Hard Rain with Christian Slater?
Yes, I did see that. Yes,
rain, like it's the whole town is filled with rain.
Where he's got the jet ski in the school at one point. Yes. Okay.
Oh God.
Yes, I've seen it.
It's actually only that movie and the what's that? The League of Their Own were filmed in the same town in Indiana. Which ironic. What movies are filmed in Indiana? Really?
Now, is it a better Christian Slater movie than Gleaming the Cube?
No. Or Cuffs or Pump Up the Volume. No.
Pump Up the Volume's good. Like,
movie's great.
When you say Gleaming the Cube is one of those movies, it's just like you watch it now, you're like, this is fucking terrible. But you were like, you loved it when you were a kid.
I put it in like the Roadhouse. It's like in a Roadhouse type category for me. It's ridiculously bad and good.
Somebody bought it and then changed the name. Do you remember that? They changed it to like My Brother's Honor or some shit like that.
Well, I always enjoy it because Scarface's friend Stephen Bauer's in the movie. So like what always was like, oh look, it's Manny.
I think that's the only time he played like a nice guy.
True.
Oh man. Gleaming the Cube is a disaster movie.
I like it.
Come on, Tony Hawk drives a pizza van or pizza truck. So we talk about Deep Impact for a couple minutes. That was on the list here.
Perfect Storm is the president. Yeah, Perfect Storm.
Yeah. Did you know that IMDb has a top 100 disaster films?
Ooh, really?
Pete's second and third round picks are number 1 and 2.
They're the granddaddies, man.
I'll read the top 10 here. Poseidon Adventure was 1, Tower of Inferno 2, Twister 3, On the Beach was 4, Airport 5, 2012 6, Day After Tomorrow 7, Dante's Peak 8, A Night to Remember.
That's about the Titanic as well, from like the 50s.
Okay. And then Battle Los Angeles. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
I've heard of that, never seen it.
Red Dawn was one I was thinking about drafting.
Ooh.
Night of the Living, any of the zombie movies, Night of the Living Dead,
Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
Right. 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
I was gonna pick this one. Eight-Legged Freaks. This one was great.
How about Snakes on a Plane?
I was gonna pick Snakes on a Plane. Another great classic.
What about the one with Duchovny, where they have to kill the aliens using Head and Shoulders? What the hell?
I know.
What was it called?
Evolution? Was it Evolution?
Evolution. Thank you. That's a disaster movie.
But also another one, Mars Attacks, when they have to play the old crooner to kill the Martians.
Not unusual to be in love.
I actually drafted. Jack Nicholson's character we did a fictional president's draft a few weeks back.
Yeah.
Alive.
Ooh.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Classic.
And honestly, with that, the 50s and 70s versions are both outstanding movies.
Mm-hmm.
For very different. The same story, basically, told a little bit different, but outstanding movies. Donald Sutherland, again, in the 70s version.
Great job.
World Ends, they got to call Donald Sutherland.
Yes, exactly.
Omega Man was on the list. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Wait, okay. The Ultimate Disaster movie. I figured it out. With one of the greatest ending lines in film history. I'm just going to give you the line. Soylent Green is people.
See, whenever I think Soylent Green, I always think of the SNL sketch where they made like 37 different Soylent movies. There's like Soylent Brown and Soylent Purple. And it was just Phil Hartman going, Soylent Green is people.
People.
Like over and over again. Oh, man. Arachnophobia? Yeah, I guess that's a disaster movie. The Mist, the Thing.
Yeah.
The
I was
second
thinking-
story in Creepshow with Stephen King when the asteroid comes down and attacks him.
Meteor shit.
Yeah, isn't that technically a disaster?
I can't wait. So I talked to Tony and Yumper about this recently. I made a list of horror. So my wife doesn't watch horror movies, and she's finally gonna dive in. And I made a list of movies, and I can't wait to show her Creepshow movies because I think she's gonna love those. they're so bad and good at the same time. Castaway does count. I would think so. What about like Planet of the Apes?
That was on a list I saw.
Yeah, I would say so.
And then you have like all the monster movies. You have like King Kong and Godzilla.
Godzilla, yeah.
You know, you could go Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You could go Ghost.
But just because of the train guy?
Roadhouse?
Roadhouse, yeah. They did pull a guy's heart out.
Yeah. Well, Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. I mean, the poster Tony has behind him, Jaws.
Yeah. Book of Eli.
Oh, what's the Will Smith one?
Book of
I
Eli.
Am Legend?
Legend. I Am Legend. Yes.
Who was in Book of Eli? Oh, that was Denzel. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So definitely a better movie because Denzel's in it. Mm-hmm.
Waterworld.
Tony?
Yeah. Good call, Jack.
Waterworld's classic.
Waterworld falls under disaster of a movie and disaster movie.
Yes.
Dennis Hopper's awesome in that movie.
Wouldn't
Shaun of the Dead?
Wouldn't the Postman also fall under that category?
Absolutely. Ford Lincoln Mercury.
Tom Petty.
I love that movie. That is like I'm not a huge Kevin Costner guy. I really am not, but I love that movie. I thought that was really good.
What about disaster?
Waterboy? Yeah, disaster movie is a good one. We should have drafted disaster movie.
Yeah. I thought about it. But I just felt, and the funny thing is, like, some of these, we didn't get to the airports. Airport 75, Airport 77, Airport 79, the Concorde, which is just, those movies got worse as they went along.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, well, what are they? How are they going to make it more interesting? It's the same fucking plot over and over again, pretty much. Like,
so Airport 75, you had Charlton Heston being lowered into a 747 with a hole in the cockpit because there was a plane that ran into it in this, in air. He's being lowered into it. I'm like, come on, really? Then Airport 77, they're in the Bermuda Triangle under fucking water. And then Airport 79, the Concorde is like, whatever.
They just keep going.
They just keep going.
I haven't seen any of them, but one of those situations where like probably like whichever one you pick to watch is probably going to be.
They're fun bad. They're fun bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I got for tonight. Tony, you got anything to plug, buddy?
Yes, upcoming this Friday, going to be live at 7:00 for another hookup on music. Going to be talking about a lot of different stuff. The Psychedelic Furs are coming to town this Sunday with the Jesus and Mary Chain. Going to be an awesome show. Going to be talking about that. Along with my good man Yumper at 8:30, we're going to be digging into the 5 and 5 greatest slasher movies. We're going to come up with each other and see what ones we come up with. And every single day, my main man Yumper is dropping his 31 Days of Horror. Great movies altogether. I mean, Cat's
Yes.
Eye. I love Cat's Eye. That movie's great.
Yeah, you know what? I watched it this morning. I'm like, I haven't seen Cat's Eye in freaking forever.
40 years, probably.
Yeah.
Great movie and great thing that Yumper's doing. And I'm also dropping 31 articles with a different song every single day. Have hit everything so far from Killer Clowns from Outer Space by the Dickies to today was the aforementioned psychedelic furs, The Ghost in You. So check out tomorrow. Got a very deep cut from 1971. We'll see what it has in store.
I'm wondering if there's any cheap trick in your future.
Ooh, you know what I like? I like when somebody starts maybe.
Because I can think of one song immediately off of the Lap of Luxury album, just FYI.
Oh. You might have a surprise.
Ooh.
Watch, it's the one for tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Watch, yeah, exactly.
All right. And then Pete, you just dropped a new Collector's Corner recently.
I did. I dropped a Collector's Corner last night about Pete Rose. Showed
Never
off
heard
some
of him.
memorabilia. Yeah, exactly. Showed off some memorabilia and also talked about the conundrum that is Pete Rose. I mean, you know, in the end, baseball has Rule 21. Pete Rose broke Rule 21. But it's kind of hard to take baseball seriously with Rule 21 when it's fucking sponsored by MGM Bet or Caesars Casino or
FanDuel.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it's kind of hard to square the two sides of this argument. But if you have a chance, watch the Pete Rose documentary on Cinemax or on Max. It's a 4-part thing. You'll understand that there's more than just the gambling that is keeping Pete Rose out of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, there's some pretty nasty stuff. Yeah, yeah. There's some pretty nefarious characters in the Hall of Fame already, though.
Yes, there are.
If Ty Cobb can get in the Hall of Fame, anybody can get in the fucking Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, Ty Cobb
the guy beat a guy unconscious that didn't have arms. I mean, come on.
slid in feet first with spikes that were sharpened.
Right.
You know, and it just like with Pete Rose, it's a very, very, it's not a cut and dry situation with Pete Rose at all.
No,
at all.
That's probably why it'll never happen. I'm
exactly.
Gonna assume. Yeah.
And I'll tell this story. I told it last night on the podcast. So before Ted Williams passed away, Ted Williams was an imposing figure, a very imposing figure.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of cornered Bud Selig. And Ted Williams was sort of like Ernest Borgnine and Gene Hackman. He didn't talk. He was rather loud. When are you going to let Shoeless Joe Jackson into the Hall of Fame?
Yep. And
Bud's answer, which I'm not a Bud fan at all, but his answer made perfect sense. Well, you know, Ted, if we let Shoeless Joe Jackson in, we have to let Pete Rose in. To which Ted Williams immediately goes, "Oh, fuck that guy."
That's a good story.
It's a pretty good one.
Yep.
All right. Well, Drafty Pod will be back next week. Yep. Topic to be decided. I'm still working on a few. We definitely have the 29th, which is 3 weeks from tonight. I'm doing a horror movie villain draft. So, and I'm going to have Keelan on. Keelan will be back on with me for that one, as well as another guest to be decided again. But yeah, we'll be back next week. I'll drop a little more info on what we're doing next week, later this week. And that's about it for now. Thank you guys for coming on, Pete, Tony. Love you guys, and we'll be back on together again soon, I hope. And thank you everyone in the chat. Brandy, Jack, Sam, thank you so much for providing us lists.
Yeah, John Shank, Caitlin.
Caitlin is always is our rock star in the chat. Yumper, obviously. He's
Sam-
obligated though, so no, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. And then Baloney, obviously, always in the chat as well. So thank you guys.
That pain in
As
the ass
always.
Sam Reeves is there,
Yeah,
Who-
fuck that guy. Love you, Sam.
Love you, Sam.
Night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.